So one thing I learned in life always pointed me at or pointed out or pinpointed exactly on my also say guides or higher selves when I listened. I kind of also had to learn it, so and it was you know I don't want to say a long process. I want to say a longer process, but everything's quantum and everything's complete and whole. So are you already. So it's not just a saying, it's literally like that. And the information is already not out there. Out there might be as well too as a reflection from that the fact that it is or the truth that it is within there, right? So and this is not just some childish thinking or spiritual new age BS. That's what you realize if you put in the work. And I'm not talking about the physical necessarily. Although, like I said in the latest video, this can be used as grounding and transmuting stuff, and it has its place obviously because we're also physical beings in this reality at least, and in other realities as well, and to varying degrees, and unique expressions and types of expressions, which is kind of beautiful. So, but now the one of the biggest lessons I learned, and like I said, I don't want to say biggest lessons because without sounding too cocky, I always knew, and you too, you do too, you always knew too. It's only that sometimes we we or energies or you might say circumstances, but you're for real the master of your circumstances. So it's just that you played out a might play the real out the reality where you gave your power away, and I know through incarnating into this state of place of unconsciousness and then traveling up through back to the heavens again, from the alpha to the omega, from biggest condensation or kinda condensation, the foxtail, kinda back to infinity and the infinite glory, you might say. You will realize what you already know. I just want to say something else, but this is true. So true. True. So I'm just sharing my thoughts, by the way. So don't think by any means that I think I'm higher than you or something. I just been through a lot, like you will too, and learned a lot, and I just want to share my wisdom, and you know, I hope it helps someone. So, what was the point? So, yeah, so it's not really a lesson, but like I said, like life pinpointed this out pretty well to me, and it's one thing I think it's very fascinating. It's like, yeah, it's it's kinda a theme I realized, or which was kinda more subtle, but a very valuable hmm, maturation process where I could dive deeper into or get more insight, and yeah, kinda free myself, and maybe the energy is even up there, and so the information is more accessible for our quantum mind as well, or also pave the way, shine the light to connect the dots or connect these realms, kind of uh opened up the door, right? Opened up the door is already there, right? I opened up the door, and other people might did that too, so we all can go through it, we all can better access these doors. Like we might found the key for ourselves, and now we made it more accessible, and now something weird just switched away from my head, and I don't know what it is. I no. Okay, this is now getting too weird. Nonetheless, so what I'm trying to say, trying to find the right words. This isn't about me now. Like, oh, I got the key. It's me, and because of me, you know, no, we all do our great work, which is to be appreciated. And also, like I also did a video self love. Always include the self because everything is self. So if you don't love thyself, who's there to love, right? Because now you're denying the whole universe, because the whole universe is trying to express itself through you, through your emotions, also energy emotions, right? Now you're not only trying to repress them, try to repress your entire being, you try to cut off the entire universe or source energy trying to run through you, and as this intrinsic part or even being who is the universe, now you try to cut yourself off from yourself, and this doesn't lead anywhere good except to backlash, because it now is this rebounds effect of a mirror, because now you're pushing yourself outwardly and everything else, but it's you, and now you communicate with yourself, and you may call it the universe or whatever, and now you blame some outside source, but until you realize it's you. And I get it, we all been there, we all kind of had our hard lessons or things where we kind of, I don't want to say ignorant, because there's a valuable thing about being firm and, you know, stern also, firm anyways, as a man anyways, but also stern and be able to, yeah, also focus and kind of, yeah, narrow down your focus. Not in a negative way, it can be used in a very positive way, and can be a great attribute, especially of great leaders as well. You know, I'm talking about positive examples now. When you can take or see everything, all these possibilities, can take everything and use it for the highest good, and now lead the way in a great, marvelous. Is this a positive word? I think so. I first wanted to say hazardous, but it's has a negative connotation. I think marvelous is the right word in a great way. So, but the point is, I'm kind of talking, giving you a lot of information now. The point is, coming back to what I originally wanted to make clear. Now we are all on our own mission, bigger mission. It's not only about physical, of course. We try and integrate every part, and we all trying to shed as much light as we can, and coming from different angles, basically, right? So you might, also now talking about the spiritual and the non-physical, you might with your great, beautiful, powerful guides and all these benevolent beings you work with, and they already, did this great work and opened up, the light in these dark places. You kind of did it as well too, and paved the way for the light as well, and integrated and unified the field, for other people to come and be supported through that, or find a way out of the havoc and the dark spot they incarnated in, and found themselves to shed a light there. And you might say, no, it might be an ego game or comparison game. Maybe that dark spot was so dark that you, because you all love each other on a much deeper level and not a romantic way, but there are a lot of programs out there, so also with a lot of shame and guilt, I also realized I had to clear, although I knew this romantic love shit was kind of garbage for the most part. I'm not saying all, because all perspectives deserve a right to be there and exist, otherwise they wouldn't exist, right? That's the least anyways, and that's just states of, God's love, source love, our love, universe's love, Mother Gaia's love, Mother, Father, the highest Mother and Father, love, the highest of the highest, and so on. Now, if you follow me, the important message now was that you goddamn gotta respect your own goddamn timeline. Your own goddamn timeline. And there are infinite timelines, and I'm not talking about this now. Because this would be way too complicated to explain this now. Okay? Because infinite timelines, infinite possibilities, and from this perspective, you also might think, oh no, which to choose? No, I don't want to irritate you right now. It's not like that. This is, there might some things who might get irritated in you because it's out of the ordinary thinking, not of you, or not that you don't comprehend that in any ways. You, it's your knowledge as well. But just let's keep it easy for this video now. Your timeline. But you might say the highest of the highest timeline. Your timeline, your own timeline. Why you came here? The one you can miss as well, because it's your energy, it's your frequency. It's not physical. The physical is the embodiment, the expression, and that's why meditation is so helpful, because you practice in your energy, you practice in that which you already are, and frequency and energy you emit, to now totally shine through and let go and purge off all these layers where you play otherwise. We are your mind, because your mind and you are so powerful, and that's much more complex to explain, at least also with the higher self and things. But it's now focus on your timeline, focus on your goddamn timeline. Okay, don't get overly involved in other people's things and stuff, especially with an empath. You gotta look out for it, but especially if you're not an empath, also not an empath, we have all kind the an empath on some level, but it's not only for empaths. I kind of said it because it might kind of be more intense for you, but now it can be great, because the faster you can realize this. Some other people might get too caught up in this, but it's perfectly fine as well. So don't get caught. This message is for anyone. This is so important. I hope you get it. If not, you will realize that at your perfect given time. But until then, it can help you as well. Focus on your own goddamn timeline, okay? Because the same with thoughts. What you gotta realize is, with thoughts and emotions, of course, they connect worlds and bridge these worlds, but these are worlds in themselves too, and kind of can be seen as outer, because they are the bridge, can be seen as outer as well, because your inner, it's your inner being, or your being starts from within and emanates outwardly. So there are different layers. So, and we pass around so much information, energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, with also, because we're all so connected. So you might see another one, and that's why I said this example of an empath. You might totally feel how he is on his journey. And you might say, oh, he's such a great singer. Just for example, it doesn't have to be this and that. Well, I feel that I meant to be a singer too, right? And now you now, for example, now you go totally ignorant. Now you come totally forceful. Not that you're not meant to, okay, but you become totally forceful now and ignorant and try and block everything out, and even try to block your growth, inner growth out, all for that. That's not how it should be. Your inner being, your beauty shines from within, radiates outwardly, and manifests itself as all these beautiful things. As and that's your purpose, okay? That's your purpose. Not this idea. You are your purpose. You are your purpose. And if you're meant to be a singer, you are a singer. But don't get too caught up. I don't know how to explain it to you, because I don't want to say that you know, and it's just an example, you know, for, oh, I'm not meant to be a singer. That's not what I mean. Okay, by any means, this can be totally open for you, or it might not, but there might be so much better things for you personally, specialized in your matrix. And that's why it's all energy, all through your feelings. Okay, you might not be in this lifetime. Maybe just a few examples. There's so many options. You were in so many other lifetimes, and now you still like to sing, but now you got a total different heaven on earth right now in this life. Might just be a perspective, or maybe at some point you you include it somehow, right? And still reach a lot of people and shine a light through that as well, and it's unified in your life purpose in a different way, might be a total different way than you expected, but it still is. And most often than not, if we get these thoughts and cling too much to them, we try to make something work which kinda we kinda try to condense and force too much. It's kinda, and we already dump it down because of how we approach it and the perspective, and not because we are bad, but because we still had some growth to go through, where we didn't get to the heaven on earth, but we tried to, we tried to avoid that which actually would jumpstart us into our best life and to our good life, the good life, living the good life, right? And somehow we thought we bypassing that was a good idea, and now try to force something, because we're still kinda through what we've gone through, think it's the best, we should settle that for that, but it's still somehow wouldn't like. So not that you're not abundant, but there you're still thinking through that manner, and that's why we should keep bringing awareness, and we naturally get to that through the ascension. But that's what we gotta keep in mind. So focus on your own goddamn timeline. Don't get caught up to in other people's things. And it's not only related to singer. It might be, yeah, for whatever you're into, race car driver, uh, soldier. You know, can correlate to a lot of things. Or where you try to overcome your insecurity, and it might not be a bad thing, but you think it's only that way, correlating to that way, that archetype, and not even that archetype, but only a specialized thing. You might include and heal that archetype and empower yourself through that, but not that way you only think is the way that's ought to be, like that. No, it isn't. It's not.